Welcome into Sports Wagering University's look at some conference tournament brackets. I'm joined by Kiev O'Neill from the oddsbreakers.com. Kiev, how are you today?
I'm doing well, man. Just busy, busy, busy. Everything ramping up here. Obviously, now we're starting to get into the larger seeds later in the week, having to finally play. So I'm really interested in watching some games.
Absolutely. This is a great time of the year. I think both of us love conference tournament weeks a lot. Almost as good as March Madness. Some people even like it better than March Madness, but a lot of action. Day games are great. A lot of fun. There's a lot going on at Sports Wagering U. Check out the website. Follow on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Sign up for the free newsletter over there as well. A lot going on at Sports Wagering University. Kiev and I helped with teaching some classes there at Sports Wagering U. I know both of us enjoyed that, and a lot of people seem to enjoy those classes, Kiev. So I feel like that was a good start, and we have lots more to come there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great stuff there. Whenever you do a class, I always think, oh, I should add this, I should add that. But at the
Right.
same time, there's just so much info for I suppose, the student to digest there. It's just we don't want to overwhelm anyone either.
Sure, absolutely. I think we tried to find a middle ground there. So hopefully, if you haven't had a chance to check that out, go over to sportswageringu.com and check that out. So Kiev, we're going to talk Horizon League here, and we'll pull up the bracket. As you look at the Horizon League, it is important to point out that this one does reseed. So this bracket is a little bit less important than some of the other ones that we'll talk about. Having said that, the number one seed Cleveland State certainly benefits from that, because they get the lower uh, remaining seed consistently. So that's why they're favored here. I see Cleveland State 2-1, 2.5-1 on average here. It's hard to argue against Cleveland State because they've played consistently well throughout the course of the season. But I do feel like this one's pretty wide open. There are several teams that could win this. Nobody in the Horizon League is really dominant team. Wright State is down from where they were the last couple seasons. Certainly, they've been very inconsistent. Purdue Fort Wayne's made a really nice run here late in the season as well. I think you could make an argument for Fort Wayne. I see them 6 or 6.5-1. Their path is a little bit difficult there because they do have to play Cleveland State. Usually we like to look at the bottom of the bracket. This one is a little bit complicated based on the reseeding here. But it is also important to note that initially here, they will be played at home sites, and then they'll move to Farmers Coliseum in Indianapolis. And Kiev, I looked this one up. Indianapolis Farmers Coliseum, almost exactly even, I should say, for overs and unders.
Of
So,
course, you check that, Kyle.
oh, I would. I mean, there are some of these that are great under venues, of course, and this one's not one of them. Actually, I think it's a couple more overs than unders at Farmers Coliseum. So, not just straight under bets or anything in this one. But Kiev, what are your thoughts here as you look at this bracket?
Well, definitely Cleveland State has owned this for the past well, 5-10 years. They've been pretty much I would think, the best team in the Horizon League. I look at the odds on some of them. We can just even move to DraftKings here a little bit. You see that Cleveland State's at plus 200, Wright State's at plus 400. You got Northern Kentucky at plus 450, Purdue, Fort Wayne 500, Oakland 600, Detroit 900. As you can see, this is a very mixed bag in this conference. It's very middle of the road heavy, I would say. You got these two on the bottom here. Robert Morris is terrible. That I wouldn't take any shots at the two on the bottom here, especially UIC. But I think that if you're going to take a shot, you have to keep one thing in mind, Kyle. The reseeding really favors the 1 and the 2 a lot, because there's a chance that, sometimes you might like a 2 seed and they might catch like the 6 seed coming down or something like that, right? Well, the one, this is always going to reseed. So Cleveland State's always going to play the worst out of the teams that win. So it makes it a little bit more of a favorite heavy. In saying that, I'm looking at Northern Kentucky a little bit, and I kind of like what they've been doing a little bit lately. Now, if you look at the past 12, 14 games, they won 12 out of the last 14. So that is a lot. And then you look and it's like, wait a second, you only lost to Detroit Mercy over that span. Now, not sure what clicked, but sometimes it takes a while for teams to click. And it's not like they're playing a bunch of tomato cans after this. They beat Wright State twice here, right? I think that's really important. I also want to point out that Cleveland State on KenPom isn't even the number one team in the conference, according to KenPom. You know, they're 192, Oakland's 184, and you have Wright State at 194. Everything's really bunched up. But I think the hotter hand is Northern Kentucky coming in here. And, you know, obviously their offense is hurting mostly from this section right here where it went bad, but it got better as time went across. As a matter of fact, you can look at Bart Torvik. You can see their all play percentage going up like this, right? That's really important to look at. And I looked at that. I looked at the fact that the offensive rebound really good. So these misses right here, they're cleaning up. And I like how their defensive stepped up. Number 2 in efficiency in the league. This is a team that can go away and win games, except for Detroit. Like I said, beating teams like Oakland, Wright State. I like teams that can win away from home, Kyle. I like the +4, 350, 450, whatever you can get on Northern Kentucky.
Yeah, and you could argue that the money line rollover might work better in this situation, especially if you're only getting +400 or +350. They have a bit of a tricky game against Detroit right away. You know, Detroit, a team with Antoine Davis, who, if he's making threes, I mean, Detroit could win several games in a row in this tournament. If he's not, then they'll lose right away. So when we say money line rollover, we just mean bet the money line, roll over your winnings to the next game. And you can also only bet part of them the next game if you want, or you can hedge by stopping your bet. Sometimes those can have more value than the futures bet. I think Kiev got a better number than what's available in the marketplace right now. I didn't bet anything in this one so far. If I were going to bet something, Kiev, what are the odds here for Purdue Fort Wayne at DraftKings?
500, 5-1 here.
Okay, 5-1 there. I see FanDuel 6-1. So it looks like that's the best I can see is 6-1. I'm going to lean toward taking them, and I'll probably put a small bet on this one. If you look at Purdue Fort Wayne, they have won 8 games in a row to finish the season, 8 or 9 games in a row to finish the season. So when it comes to momentum, they have plenty of it. They beat Cleveland State in triple overtime at home. What a wild game that one was. And as you look at Purdue Fort Wayne, they're a team that's not had a ton of success in this conference tournament in the past, but I don't know. I don't see any of these teams being dominant to where I think that we're just going to take over and be too good. I'm going to pull up shot quality. Simon does great work at shot quality. We had him on our live class with Kiev and I. Really innovative information, great stuff. I will show you some of the stats here. Cleveland State was a bit fortunate according to shot quality in the standings. Purdue Fort Wayne a bit fortunate. So was Northern Kentucky. So basically, shot quality believes these teams are packed pretty close together. I think that's a fair assessment. You get down to the bottom though. I don't think anybody would be too excited to take Illinois, Chicago, or I mean, even Oakland, Kiev. I'm surprised KenPom has them rated so high this year. I really don't think Oakland has been that consistently good, but I don't know that anybody's that good from this conference. I mean, don't you think that whoever gets into the NCAA tournament here probably going to be a good fade in the first game, because this is a weak conference in my opinion. So I'll pull up Purdue Fort Wayne here real quick and show you their strengths and weaknesses according to shot quality. They're very good at finishing at the rim, as you can see here. They're very bad at defending the rim. They're good at defending three-point line, and they're very good at threes. They take a lot of threes. That could be a negative, certainly, because you're dependent upon the three-point shot. If you look at a team like Northern Kentucky, I'll bring them up here really quick. They're more of a team that's a bit more even. They don't take mid-range shots, but they go to the basket a lot and do take quite a few threes. It looks like it's a pretty common theme here in this league that they don't defend the paint very well. So, I don't really see anybody else that has too much value to me. I would agree with Kiev at the bottom of the bracket. I would take Northern Kentucky if I like somebody down there. Purdue Fort Wayne might look at the top. And as far as in games here, no strong leans to the under based on the venue or anything. So that's kind of my thoughts. Do you have anything to add, Kiev?
No, I think you did a great job. Keep in mind, moneyline rollover, set an alarm in your phone.
Yeah.
In the past, and I do that now. In the past, I would be like, you know what, that morning number isn't quite what I want. I'm going to wait a little bit longer, and then all of a sudden, you forget to bet the game. I mean that happens, and then your money rover is gone, and you're kicking yourself. So set an alarm 10 minutes before the game starts on any money line rollover that you do. It's very important. Trust me, we're humans here. We screw up, and we could miss out on that. So that's the one of the main things you need to do when betting these games is make sure that you get your bets in.
Yeah, absolutely. Kiev, this is a really busy time of the year for us, and I've done that before. There's been years in the past that I forget. I'm pretty upset with myself, so I do the same thing. I set, I have 5 alarms set throughout the day. My wife will say, "Why's your alarm going off again?" Oh, I got to get in there. So
Yeah.
definitely keep track of that. And I think the Horizon League will be fun because it's wide open. Kiev kind of liking Northern Kentucky here. I like Fort Wayne a bit in this one. Check out the Odds Breakers. Kiev does a great job there at the Odds Breakers. Kiev, did you have a podcast up for this week?
Yep, we have podcasts up this week. We're gonna have a lot of them next couple weeks, so be checking on Mondays and Tuesdays. We gave out a little conference preview earlier this week too. If you want to hear some of the plays that I made, some small plays. Obviously, money line rollovers sometimes work the best, but like I said, you always have to be on top of those as well. So make sure you check us out.
Yeah, I believe I will be on there with you next week to do some conference tournament talk. So looking forward to that. And check out huntersportspicks.com for my plays. Go to sportswageringu.com to look at the college basketball betting class. We cover a lot of March Madness tips, conference tournament as well. So check everything out there at Sports Wagering U, and we will see you next time.